True Capitalist Radio. I'm the badass of business and the prognosticator of prognosticators. Give CIA levels of assessments, predicting the future. The future. The future. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Sparking synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Now get ready. True Capitalist Radio starts now. Right now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking punks.
What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 764. Episode number 764 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live today on a spontaneous True Capitalist Radio show. And there's a lot of things I'd like to discuss today. First and foremost, I'm not going to be going over the stock market or the crypto markets. All I'm going to tell you is it's a tarred market. All right, there is no type of rational investment idealism going into this market. Everybody's playing follow the leader, and the leaders are doing nothing but pump and dumps. It is ridiculous, and in my personal opinion, I think that you should save your cash, invest in gold and silver, invest in real estate, and that's about it if you want my personal opinion. I think that we're going through a liquidity shortage. Everybody knows it. The only people that have money are the billionaires that have been taking out of the tax system courtesy of not only this administration, but several administrations. So let's just go right into it. First and foremost, I know that we are in politically precarious times, and I thought it was about time for me to do some kind of a True Capitalist Radio show. Now, before I get into the politics of it all, I do want to admit that yours truly has been going through some personal things. I unfortunately had a stomach ulcer. I still have it. And it has forced me to stop drinking, stop smoking, stop eating fatty steaks, eating citrus fruits, you name it. I can't do anything. I can only drink water, eat bland-ass food, and I'm on day 7 of that complete cold turkey. I'm not eating sugar, none of that shit. And as a result, in the midst of that sobriety, in midst of me watching the political landscape of America, it has actually given me a little bit more inspiration to continue to do True Capitalist Radio Show. All right? Because let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than seeing what the hell is happening to America in a sober mind. And let me tell you, now that I'm on day 7 of being absolutely sober, cold turkey, and all the shit that I just mentioned previous, it gives me a little bit of a fearlessness. You know, I almost thought that maybe the substances, which I always thought were giving me bravery or giving me some kind of bravado, is actually giving me fear. And I don't want to fear anymore because let me tell you, we are in serious times. And let's just get right into it. I do want to say cheers to Belligerent Brian. Thanks for the show, Ghost. I appreciate it, man. Sarah Benson, yeah, appreciate it. Wraith, dude, 636, thank you for the Rumble rant, man. Cheers to you. And cheers to Weibo Ghost. Now, if you do donate on buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics, you're not going to hear an alert, okay? I've taken off the alert. I'm going to try to get to all the donations at the end of the show or in a lull moment of the show because this is a very, very serious show. Now, first and foremost, I know that many of you people are kind of discombobulated with what is happening to the country. Now, there is so much things to go over, so what I'm going to do, and I really didn't plan for this show, I actually tweeted that if you give me 100 retweets on a certain tweet, that I would give everybody a True Capitalist Radio Show, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take today's news from none other than Drudge Report. All right, drudgereport.com, and let me tell you, I have been following Drudge ever since the 1994 when this guy started on news groups. I don't know if y'all remember that protocol, but if you all are that far back, you know what I'm talking about. But let's just go ahead and take a look at the cover on the top headline: debt tops 100% of GDP. So for all those folks that are out there investing in the stock market, investing in crypto, you people don't know your ass from your elbow, okay? Debt tops 100% of GDP. That means we are running on empty when it comes to this economy. Now, lest we forget, in 2024, we had Trump promising that we were going to have more production in America, that we were going to be the richest country in America. And I don't know if y'all remember in 2024, I told you that was going to be an absolute lie. Everything that has happened up to this point, I have prognosticated in the 2024 broadcast, and those are in the archive, whether you look on it on the live section of YouTube or on Rumble. All right, I have been telling you folks that this was going to happen. All of you people that were calling me Democrats when I was saying this, who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? This idiot Trump said in 24 that he was going to bring down the inflation that Joe Biden had induced, which, by the way, that wasn't Joe Biden that induced that inflation. This has everything to do with the COVID relief funds, everything from stimulus packages to the $300 billion a month bond buys that they were giving out to everybody in mortgage-backed securities and in debt to the bank. So let me tell you something right now. This is what is causing the inflation. It caused the inflation during Biden. And now, as I stated in 24, when Trump was mouthing off these economic policies of tariffs and protectionism, I told each and every one of you that what was going to happen is if you think that the prices were high during Biden, you ain't seen nothing yet. I said that we were going to see prices go up 50, 100% within the first 2 years on almost everything, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened, folks. Now, look, we're seeing a lot of people on the right wing that are now starting to recognize that have gone completely away from this MAGA enchantment, this MAGA magic, whatever it is, this ridiculousness, this cult of personality. You're finally starting to see right-wing folks that are starting to recognize that they've been had, they've been hoodwinked, they've been gullibly put into a position where you either going to continue on like these MAGA chattering class assholes that are pot committed, all right, that are out here continuing to babble about how great everything is in America when you and I know it's not the case. The only people that are still out here on social media claiming that MAGA is doing so great and that Trump is a great thing since sliced bread are the people that are getting paid to do so. These MAGA grifters, all right? Do not believe these MAGA grifters. They're demoralizers. They're people that are out here trying to suggest that the majority of the people that are okay with this shit when they are not. All right? They are not. They're not okay with this crap. So for all you people that are sitting over here, oh, True Democrat Radio, what, you're going to continue following this shit? You're going to continue following, look, 100% of our GDP is debt. We produce nothing. And the only thing that we're producing that is actually giving any kind of revenue to the GDP is AI. And AI is a joke. AI is a joke. Okay? Now, first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a look at the headlines here when it comes to Drudge. Pain at the pump intensifying, huh? Pain at the pump intensifying for U.S. consumers as Iran war drags on. Now, folks, I was for the Iran war. And the reason was because I wanted to liberate the Iranian people. It has been a cause of mine ever since I aided the Green Revolution in 2009 in an attempt to overthrow the Ayatollah and Ahmadinejad, which was the president at the time. I have a very personal vested interest into the liberation of the Iranian people. Unfortunately, because we have an incompetent, imbecilic, unqualified Department of War, or whatever the hell you want to call it, head of the Pentagon in Pete Buy-Me-a-Beer Hegseth, we are in a quagmire that dumbass Trump had promised all of you idiots that he was not going to get involved in. And moreover, the strategy in which they attempted to try to attack Iran is completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. I mean, what we should have done, and I've said this, and I said it before the Iran war, all we have to do is take out the Ayatollah and the clerics and then declare victory. All right, that's as simple as we could have done it. All right, but unfortunately, dumbass Trump, which I don't know who the hell is advising this moron, back in January when the Iranian people were rising up, y'all remember that? They were rising up, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people in Iran were rising up, and this dumbass Trump tweeted on his Truth Social, oh, help is on the way, help is on the way, rise up, and he did absolutely nothing. That right there, we lost the war. We lost the war in late January when dumbass Trump was out here saying, oh, help is on the way, raise up, Iranian people, raise up, and he did nothing. And as a result, over 40,000 plus people were purged, killed by the Iranian regime because of this fucking incompetent asshole. All right? Now, where are we at? All right? We go almost a month and a half, maybe even a month later. The February 28th attack on Iran, which, let me tell you, we eliminated the Ayatollah, supposedly, if you believe the reports, we eliminated them within 60 seconds. And right then and there, we should have said, oh, we eliminated, that's it, mission accomplished, and let the fucking Middle East deal with it. All right? Let the people deal with it. Unfortunately, the people that were rising up in that January are all killed. So nobody's going to rise up if we hit up the Ayatollah in February of 28. And it's fucking pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. And you see, you got all these MAGA-tard idiots that are trying to hold water for the absolute incompetence of not only Pete Hegseth, but Donald Trump. This is the worst military blunder in American history. I said it the day after we attacked Iran. This is poor military planning, poor military strategy, and everybody in the Pentagon, everybody in the White House should be ashamed of themselves. But they have sold their souls. They don't give a shit. They don't care about America. They don't care about the people. These people that are in charge right now are enriching themselves, and they don't care until finally the piper comes to call. And how is the piper going to call? The piper's going to call, folks, is if us, and who do I say us? I'm talking about the people that supported this guy. I supported this guy in 2016. This guy, I'm talking about Trump, this fucking jerk off. All right? I thought that he was the answer to America. As a matter of fact, if you take a look back in the archives, you take a look back at that time in history, Trump was actually saying a lot of the things verbatim I was advocating back in 2009, 2010, 2011. He was saying things verbatim. That's why I came back in 2016 in hopes of getting him elected. And let me tell you, for the first 2 years of Trump, I was for almost 90% of everything that he passed. Then came the Jeffrey Epstein getting arrested and consequently suicided. And that's when Trump all of a sudden turned into a completely different person. He turned into a completely different person, and then came COVID. And you see, I just can't believe that everybody, all you magatards, all you people in America, gave Trump a mulligan when it came to his decision on doing the things that he did during COVID. The most important one was Operation Warp Speed, where he gave most of you idiots that took the vax fucking AIDS or whatever the hell is alleged in there. People are dropping now. People of young age are dropping dead, and they're just coughing it up to, oh, well, they had a blood clot. They had a little, an embolism. And, yeah, like that happened a lot. That happened frequent before COVID. It didn't. It didn't. And let me tell you something about Epstein, okay? I personally believe, because let's we forget. Let's take a step back here for a second. All right? Trump was the one that invoked Epstein back in 2016. All right? This wouldn't have been such a big issue had this idiot not opened up his big fat mouth about Epstein and about how, oh, the island and oh, this person was at the island. How the fuck did he know, first and foremost? Because he was Epstein's best friend, lo and behold. And secondly, he thought that he held the cards. All right? He thought that because he partied with Epstein, and Epstein obviously was some operation to exploit and extort the elites in this country, he thought that he was going to be able to use the leverage on whatever Epstein had on every one of these people. That's why in 16 he came out acting so confident with that swagger. Remember during those debates, this guy would come out and act cocky. He would fucking insult these people. He would invoke Epstein himself. He would invoke Epstein himself. And then, all right, then after 2 years after Trump was elected, Epstein was arrested and consequently killed. All right, if you want to believe he committed suicide, I don't believe it. As a matter of fact, today they came out and said, oh, Epstein's suicide note was held secret by the FBI all these years, and we're going to go ahead and release it now. We're going to go ahead and release it. Do you believe this shit? Everything about this goddamn administration is fake and gay, literally. And if you don't know that by now, then you're fake and gay. All right? So anyway, this is where we're at as far as the Epstein files is concerned. And that's why Trump is doing everything he can to stop the total release of these files. Because if you want my personal opinion, his fingerprints, his handprints are all over this shit. And you've got these disgusting, despicable lackeys that are a part of his administration that are willing, that are selling their disgusting souls in order to brush under the rug Trump's direct affiliation with Epstein and his crimes. And it's disgusting. All right, it's pathetic. And it's pathetic that there's American people still fucking supporting this man even after that shit. But of course, I mean, America, let's be honest, most of the American public are a bunch of idiots. All right, and the proof is you people believed this shit when I was screaming throughout 2024 that there was no way that this guy is going to do and fulfill all the promises that he claimed, specifically bringing down prices of everything. Remember that? Oh, I'm going to bring down the price of everything. The Joe Biden's inflation, this and that. And I told you all that Trump was not going to bring down prices. His tariffs, his protectionism that he was touting during the 2024 election, I told you that was going to raise prices. I told you that was going to raise prices tremendously, and you idiots didn't believe me. Well, look at you now. All right? I said that this whole idea of, oh, I'm going to bring down prices. How the fuck is he going to bring down prices, I said, in 2024? He couldn't explain it. He couldn't explain it. And speaking of prices, because of this incompetent Iran war that was so ridiculously incompetently implemented, now we got oil hitting at all-time highs. How do you like that shit? And let me tell you something. The last time we saw $120 barrel oil was when the 09 recession hit. The 09 recession hit. So let me tell you right now, I think that we are in a recession or a depression. The problem is now everything is a casino, just like Trump said here recently. You've got these prediction markets like Poly Market and Kalashi and all these ridiculous fucking dumb markets that should be illegal, if you want my personal opinion, that anybody is able to put a wager on anything. And I think, in my personal view, this casino-type economy is what's keeping everybody believing that this economy is actually worth the shit. I just showed you the top headline on Drudge, our gross domestic product is 100% fucking debt. 100% debt. All right? And does anybody care? No, they don't care. You're not going to care until you or people are fucking getting evicted, until your fucking goddamn possessions are being repossessed and you're out in the street. Well, let me tell you something. That fucking day is rapidly approaching. All right? That fucking day is rapidly approaching. So let me tell you, none of this looks good. And remember, this dumbass Trump was suggesting that it was going to be the golden age. It was going to be he said the gilded age, actually, but still, he said golden and gilded. He's kind of fucking dementia-ridden, you know? But are y'all feeling golden right now? Are y'all feeling gilded? And you know, you should have fucking knew something was rotten in Denmark when Trump was invoking President McKinley's time. All right? President McKinley. Y'all know President McKinley? President McKinley got assassinated by a man named Leon Kozlov because of the disgusting post-industrial revolution economy that McKinley put together. All right? During the Industrial Revolution, you had a lot of fucking folks out here like Carnegie and Rockefeller and the Warburgs and the Harrimans and all these people that made all this money because the United States government gave them money in order for them to build the railroads, in order for them to pump the goddamn oil out of the ground, in order for them to do all this shit. I mean, in Carnegie's case, make all the iron ore. And look, during the Industrial Revolution, everything was great in America, right? Everybody had a job. The robber barons were making all the money. And unfortunately, like every market, like every revolution, it comes to an end. It comes to an end. And that's exactly what happened during the late 1800s, all right, when McKinley was president. And you see, what happened is that most of the people that were out here that were working the factories, they all got laid off. They all got laid off. And as a result, you had a lot of people that were on the streets that had skills, all right, that were taught skills during the time of the Industrial Revolution. But when it came down to the post-Industrial Revolution, there was no jobs to be had. And, you know, going back to Trump invoking McKinley, not only did McKinley get assassinated by Leon Kozlov, but this era from about 1890 to about 1915, maybe 1920, was the biggest influx of anarchism, communism, and socialism that was ever bestowed on America, and it was a direct consequence because of the post-industrial revolution. So once again, back in 2024, I tried to tell you morons that the fact that Trump is invoking President McKinley was not a good sign. It was not a good sign. And unfortunately, many of you thought that, yeah, we're going to make America great again. Yay, spaghetti, yay. And look at you now. All right? I told you the day after the election, and it's on the archive over there at YouTube Live. The day after the election, I told you all that when you're suffering, all right, when you're suffering, I want you to think of me. I want you to think of me. And I hope that you've been thinking of me, boy, because everybody's doing a lot of suffering right now. All right? And guess what? There ain't no end in sight. All right? There's no end in sight. Trump and Iran are locked in a high-stakes standoff as oil prices hit 4-year high. Look, we didn't even have to get involved with this Strait of Hormuz. Okay? My strategy when I was suggesting we hit up Iran is this: we fucking hit up the Ayatollahs. Eliminate the Ayatollah, and we should have done it in late January when the people were rising up. And once we hit up the Ayatollah, once the people were rising up, the people would have prevented the type of retaliation that Iran did once we hit them in February 28th. It would have prevented them because the damn Iranian regime would have been more worried about squashing the domestic upheaval than actually worried about what the outside forces are doing to them. And we could have had a shot of eliminating Iran altogether. All right? And we didn't. Unfortunately, we did not. And unfortunately, we are suffering the consequences of it. And I tried to tell you all. But unfortunately, folks, American people think they know everything. American people that don't know shit from Shino. And this is the most dangerous part about America, is that the American people in aggregate are fucking idiots, but they think they know everything. And if you don't believe me, well, then how do you think Trump got elected? How do you think Trump got elected? Trump got elected because he took advantage of a bunch of idiots that are in America that care more about, I don't know, consumption, mindless tchotchke consumption, anime, video games, man-child bullshit. And he pandered to that, and as a result, that's why we're here. We're here because of you people. And I hope at this point in time, there's enough of you people that can fucking eat crow and recognize that you done goofed. Recognize that you fucked up. And instead of being like these magatards who are pot committed, who are there at the fucking Thanksgiving table and at the Christmas table saying, MAGA, MAGA, vote for Trump, MAGA, MAGA, who are pot committed, hopefully some of you have some humility and recognize that you fucked up. Recognize that you fucked up. And if you don't, well, then you're part of the problem. You're a part of the problem, because this is why, if we can't snap out of this, if enough Americans cannot snap out of this, well, then we have to replace the American people. All right? I mean, there's no other solution behind this. And this is why I was against ICE. This is why I was against all this deportation shit. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have deported people, believe me. I mean, I think that we should have deported the bad eggs that somehow got through during these very liberal administrations. But for Christ's sake, I told you in 2024, when Trump started advocating this deportation shit, I told you he wasn't going to do it. I told you that he would go back on it because there's not enough American assholes that are going to go out in the farms and tend to the crops and tend to the livestock. And I was exactly right. I was exactly right. So let me tell you something right now. You American people need to start having some humility, because more than 60% of you are a fucking burden on this country. More than 60% of you are collecting a government entitlement, and that's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem, for Christ's sake. We have too many fucking jerk-offs that are out here fucking causing fucking problems, for Christ's sake. And they don't know shit. They absolutely don't know shit. All right? So unless America snaps out of its fucking haywire or fucking haze or whatever you want to call this, well, then we have to replace America. We have to replace American people that love the Constitution, that love the rule of law, that love civility, because right now, the American people don't like civility. I mean, you can't go anywhere anymore without seeing some kind of fucking ghetto-ass violence, all right? Or people that are fucking losing their minds. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons behind that, but that's where we're at this point. That's why most of you that are listening to me don't leave your fucking house and live on the damn internet. All right, that's why. Because you're too afraid to go out in America, because the American public sucks. And until we start recognizing that, and until we start doing something to rectify that, we're going to continue to see this fucking problem. And unfortunately, I'm not of the persuasion that you people are going to snap out of this. I'm of the persuasion that you people are who you are. You're idiots. You think you know everything. You're not going to have any humility whatsoever. And my only solution is that we replace the American people with people that actually care about the Constitution. Why is the Constitution so important? Because it guarantees us unalienable rights that are accorded to each and everybody in this country by God. By God. Not by some man, not by some aristocracy or some feudalism. And you see, until that document is nullified, we are still guaranteed those rights in the Bill of Rights. But because you people are so ignorant, because you people are so stupid, this fucking asshole Trump has convinced you that the fucking goddamn Constitution is nothing but a piece of paper. And because many of you, especially you fucking white males in this country that have literally pussified yourselves, that have literally made yourselves into fruity-ass bastards that the white women don't even want to have nothing to do with anymore, you are the ones that voted for this idiot. All right? Let me give you an example. All right? Let me give you a fucking example. Look at this fucking piece of shit. All right? This guy right here, put the PC shot on. This guy right here, Asmon Gold. This fucking piece of trash represents a majority of the white males out here. And take a look at this. Look at this asshole over here, DACA. Be Asmon Gold. Eat beef jerky and 2 square meals. Eat fast food for dinner and top it off with ice cream and fall asleep in your chair watching anime. And you see, this is the majority of white males. So if the majority of white males are this, then is this shit America? And if it is, then you're fucked. All right, all of you people that are out here that like this shit, that think that fucking Asmon Gold is cool, you're the reason why there's supposed quote-unquote white genocide. And that's what I said here. Read this shit. That's why white women can't stand white men anymore. Do you think some hot white woman wants to drop their panties to be penetrated by the likes of this when they are the most sought-after women on the planet? White men are committing their own white genocide, you fucking losers, okay? So that's where we're at this point in time, and we have to replace assholes like this. If you want my personal opinion, if you're an Asmon Gold idiot who, look, Asmon Gold's a fake asshole. All right, he's pretending that he's some neckbeard while making millions of dollars off you fucking morons. All right? But if you think that this guy's cool, if you are following this guy, if you fucking listen to this guy's content, you're a part of the fucking problem. And there's no fucking changing this stupid fucking mentality. There is no fucking changing this stupid mentality. So if they're not going to snap out of it, if they're not going to snap out of being man-children, if they're not going to snap out of being fucking game-playing, anime-watching fucking turds, then there is no other choice than to replace these fucking pieces of shit. All right? There is no fucking choice but then to replace these pieces of shit. So let me tell you, if you are like Asmon Gold, and if you think that this is a great way to live, then you're a part of the problem. You're an enemy of America. And let me tell you something. Asmon Gold has done more to destroy this country than Al-Qaeda. All right? You could quote me on that. He's the guy that's sitting here trying to normalize this loser lifestyle that many of you right now, look at these idiots in the chat room. They're trying to make a case on why this is okay, that why this is the new America. Well, then if this is the new America, and if you are a white male that thinks this is applicable to your life, or you think this is an appropriate way to live, that's why you ain't got no goddamn white woman trying to rip off your drawers, telling you to penetrate her and impregnate her. All right, all of you fucking stupid neck-bearded idiots that are crying that you can't get a woman because white women are going for blacks and Mexicans or whatever the fuck, that's because you people are weak. You're fucking weak. Why are white women going to goddamn blacks and Mexicans? Because they have masculinity. They have masculinity, and they're not hiding behind a goddamn computer screen waxing their carrot to cartoon women, for Christ's sake. And until you fucking dumbasses recognize that, and if you don't, well, don't complain about white genocide, you stupid losers. And if you think that this is great, if you think this is a great thing to be, well, then that's why we have to replace these people. And look, I'm not trying to say that we need to bring in third worlders out here, okay? I'm not making that argument. I mean, I think that we need to bring in people that are going to be productive in our country. We don't need people that are going to be burdens in our country, okay? Let's put that first and foremost. But look at this. You think that this guy is promoting productivity? You think that this guy is promoting entrepreneurialism, excuse me? You think that this guy is fucking promoting people to go out and be the best they can be? No! He's a propagandist to keep you dumb fucking white idiots down on the floor below even the minorities that you people hate so much. So give me a fucking break, all right? Anybody that's trying to defend this, you're a part of the problem. And let me tell you something, as far as I'm concerned, you should be replaced by people that actually love this country, that are going to partake in this country. Because let me tell you something, you stupid American assholes. A part of your responsibility of being an American citizen is conducting yourself in a government that's made for the people and by the people. But if the people fall asleep at the wheel and decide to be Asmon Gold for the rest of their life, how the fuck are we going to change this place? How are we going to change this place? We can't. We can't change it. That's why Trump wanted to deport so many people, because he knows that the American public are idiots. And ICE, all right? ICE, and I told you all in 2024, ICE was not meant to go and deport illegal immigrants. And if you still think that by now, you're an idiot. Why don't you take a look at how many fucking immigrants that have actually been deported? Obama has deported more immigrants at this point in time than Trump. Biden deported more immigrants at this point in time than Trump. ICE is not there to deport immigrants. ICE is there so that it's for us. It's for you. It's for me. Because you people are fucking weak. All right? And you Asmon Gold white folks, you're a part of the problem. You destroyed the country. You destroyed the country. I squarely blame the destruction of this country on these fucking enemy-watching, game-playing, neck-bearded man-children. You people destroyed the fucking country, and you could quote me on that. All right, you could fucking quote me on that shit. Anyway, let me take a break here. We got some Rumble rants I want to acknowledge. Arrogant bastard, reality is, why are we dipping our hands? I'm not reading stupid fucking shit like that, fuck. Trolling the interwebs. Ghost, are you telling me to throw a steel garbage can through plate glass? All right, I'm not. Dude, if you're trolling me, I'm not going to fucking, I'm not reading this shit, all right? I'm not reading any of this shit. This is serious as a fucking heart attack. If you're fucking trolling, I'm kicking your ass out of here. I'm not fucking joking, all right? I'm not joking. And wait a minute, arrogant bastard. He got banned the first time he cleaned his house. He got banned the second time he fixed his teeth. If anything, just perma-ban this idiot. I agree. I think he should be perma-banned. If you want my opinion, I mean, I don't think Asmongold should be a free man because he's knowingly, in my personal opinion, doing a propagandist idea to a bunch of man-children, capitalizing on it, and knowingly putting the white male down in a position below the ethnic minorities that many of these white people fucking criticize. All right? So, hey, Asmongold, fuck you, man. You're an enemy of America, if you want my personal fucking opinion. You're an enemy of America because you know that you're not some fucking neckbeard. You were on this fuck. You know who he's talking to? He's talking to that fucking one fucking tax idiot that always goes through everybody. Caleb Hammer's fucking show. And Caleb Hammer is telling him, you're making millions of dollars. You should be putting the millions here. And it's ridiculous. All right, this guy's a phony. He's a piece of shit. All right, so fuck you, Asmongold. All right, if you want my opinion, if we take control of the government, you should be arrested. And same with every other MAGA fucking tard that is purposely, knowingly manipulating the public when we all know that this ain't a great fucking day in America. We all know that this is not something that is the golden age, for Christ's sake. I'm not fucking joking. You can quote me on that as well. Fuck you, Asmongold, you fucking stupid loser. All right? You're a reason why America is so fucked up. All right? You're the reason why America is so fucked up. So let me tell you something. If you fall under this category and you think Asmongold is cool, get the fuck off my show right now. All right? If you think that Asmongold is a great fucking man, if you think that he represents you as a person, get the fuck off my fucking show right now, because you're a part of the problem. You're a part of the fucking problem, you fucking useless piece of shit. You non-productive piece of shit. Jesus Christ. I'm not fucking joking. I think that fucking Asmongold should be arrested. All right? Because he's knowingly doing damage to a sect of the population. Anyway, let's continue here, all right? What else do we have here on Drudge today, all right? New strikes in ground troops. Well, that's exactly what Trump is suggesting, isn't he? Iran war, Trump tells broken Germany to keep his nose out of the conflict. Well, that's because Germany is criticizing how we're not necessarily taking control of Iran, and Iran's kind of got us by the balls because they're hitting up all the goddamn ships coming out of the Strait of Hormuz, and the reason they're doing that is because they're making us look bad. All right? How and why nobody in the goddamn Pentagon even thought about the Strait of Hormuz is a fucking... it's tragic. It's fucking tragic. But as I stated in 24, you can go back in those fucking archives if you don't believe me. I said that the foreign policy of this loser, I'm talking Trump, would make us the pariah of the world. And that's exactly what we're being. We're becoming the pariah of the world. And why? We were respected in the world prior to this idiot coming into power. I mean, I have to say, Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State during the Biden administration, did a hell of a job in making sure that everybody respects America. His foreign policy of containment, containing the Russians, containing the Chinese, nobody hit up America. Nobody wanted to mess with America. And because of this Iran debacle, not only are we becoming the pariahs of the world because of the Strait of Hormuz not being able to ship out oil, fertilizer, etc., but we're looking like shit as a military power. We're looking like shit as a military power. I mean, the more this goes on, all right, the longer this goes on, the more and more we look like a fucking weak piece of shit. And our superpower status diminishes every day this continues. And you American people, do you care? No. Because you are an irresponsible group of people. And our forefathers would be puking in their graves looking at the population of ignorant fucking shitbags that we have in America today. This is supposed to be a government made for the people and by the people. And look at you idiots. You're fucking sitting on your thumbs thinking everything's a fucking great day in Mr. Rogers' fucking neighborhood. You should all be ashamed of yourself. But of course, there is no shame in America today. There is no fucking shame with you people. You people are shameless, and that's another part of the problem. Anyway, let me get to some of these Buy Me a Coffees that came in. Like I said, you're not going to hear the alert. I'm trying to make sure of this, all right? Hey, Zach the AI Dick, I appreciate the $5. You're a fucking moron. Mark, wish me luck. I live in Villages. Florida Trump is speaking 800 foot from my house tomorrow. MAGA pedophile party in my neighborhood. Well, you know, it is what it is. Haywood, I'm afraid a country is only as good as people that live in it. Replace? No. Execute or remove? Yeah, no, I'm not advocating that. All right? I'm not advocating that. I do agree, though, that there is a portion of the population that is making the country very unsafe. I don't want to discuss about any demographics or anything, but we need to do something about that if we're going to make our country safe again. All right? Anyway, let's continue here, all right? According to Trump, we've already won the war. You know, according to Trump, we've already won, but I want to win at a bigger margin. What is winning? What is winning? I mean, Iran is holding the goddamn world hostage. They're going to run out of oil in Asia and Australia, New Zealand. Fertilizer, 40% of the fertilizer comes out of the Strait of Hormuz. So what does that mean? That means the fucking food prices that you're seeing now are going to go a hell of a lot higher next year and the year after. Okay? So this is a ridiculous fucking war. And why anybody in the Pentagon, why anybody in the bureaucracy of government is still listening to this dementia-ridden asshole and taking orders from this Epstein Island or Epstein person, I don't know. I don't know. This is not what America is. We're not out here, oh yeah, we're winning when we're not winning. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's fucking ridiculous. But hey, you people are just sitting on your thumbs. You're not doing a goddamn thing. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And take a look at this. New York Times, the military was losing its edge after Iran. Everybody knows it. And this is the bad part about this Iranian situation that Trump and Hegseth and whoever the fuck else is involved in the decision-making of this shit put us in. And that includes Raising Cain as well. We should have wiped the floor with Iran if we would have properly done the attack at the appropriate time. And as I stated, the appropriate time was in late January when all the Iranians were raising up. All the Iranians were raising up. We should have hit up the Ayatollah then, and we should have left the people to dispense whatever it was that they could potentially do to the government. And the government wouldn't have had the time and the capability to throw all those missiles, which I said was going to happen, by the way, at all our bases and at our allies in the Middle East. They would have been too busy dealing with the uprising and quashing the upheaval to maintain their legitimacy had we hit them up in January. But no! Fucking dumbass Trump in his dementia-ridden ways said in January, come on, raise up, Iran, raise up. Help is on the way. And help wasn't on the way. And all Trump did was allow the regime to identify all the dissidents and purge them and kill them and murder them and execute them. 40,000+ people dead. That could have been aid. They could have aided us in this military theater, and it's the biggest goof of all time. It's the biggest goof of all fucking time. The worst military blunder in American history, and I hope, and this is why we're going to talk about taking over the Democrat Party here in just a second. But this is why those of us that have been betrayed, I'm talking the folks that participated in 24. I didn't. I'm talking about the Owen Swaryers and the goddamn Candy Owens and the Alex Joneses out here that literally put their name on the line for this idiot in 24 and now are betrayed. Now have been, slapped in the face. Not only have they been betrayed, Trump is now talking shit to them. All right? And siding with the folks that were never Trumpers. Remember Ben Shapiro? I think that Trump is... He was a never Trumper. All right, Mark Levin was a never Trumper. Everybody that this guy now is surrounding himself with were never Trumpers, and everybody that supported him, everybody that threw their name on the line for this guy, he's calling them out. He's talking shit how they're fucking bozos, how they're losers, when they put their name on the line for this idiot. Now look, I know that the title is like, let's take over the Democrat Party. Let me explain why. First and foremost, as I stated in 24, I said whoever wins, whether it's the Democrat or the Republicans, the party that loses is going to be in complete disarray. And that's exactly what's happening right now in the Democrat Party. They don't know who to run. They don't know who to run. They don't know what their identity is. They don't know whether they're progressive. They don't know whether they're centrist. And by the way, they don't know what... I mean, I'll be honest with you. They don't know who to run. And the people that are running are not even people that are Americans. All right? So that goes to show you how Americans are kind of fading away as it relates to their influence in this country. Now, the first case I'm talking about is the mayor of New York, that Mondami asshole. All right? American people elected that fucking idiot. All right? And this guy's not even a fucking, well, he may be a naturalized American, but he's not derived from America. He doesn't believe in American ideology or philosophy or ideas. He's doing his own fucking Islamic socialist shit. And guess what? Same thing happening in L.A. Take a look at this. Democrat socialist Neitha Rahman, dubbed the next Mondami, is favored to win the Los Angeles mayoral election. So while you fucking dumbasses are out here tickling your ass, all right, while you're out there putting about 2 or 3 fingers up your shit funnel, gyrating it counterclockwise because that's the only pleasure you're going to get in life, these people are going out. People with ambition, people with ideas. Even though I don't agree with these people, and even though I don't agree with their socialist shithead ideas, they're the ones that are running for shit, and they're the ones that are taking control of power. And what are you people doing? Just being on the internet with your fucking enemy profiles, talking a bunch of shit that no one cares about. Huh? Hey, that's, y'all are being replaced whether you like it or not. So you can fucking talk shit about me all you want to. All right? But I don't want to be replaced by the likes of this. All right? I certainly don't want wild Yehudis all of a sudden taking control of every goddamn city across the country. I certainly don't want Indians to go and take control of the country either. All right? You people are just sitting there on your asses, not doing a goddamn thing. That's why I call out all these fucking talking heads out here. All right? I don't care who you are. Fucking Owen Sawyer, that fucking stupid little twink Nick Fuentes, anybody, all you talking heads that are out here that have made a fucking fortune off of doing nothing but talking and talking and talking and talking. Why don't you run for something, you fucking shithead? Huh? Why don't you run for something? These fucking idiots are, and they're successful at it. What's stopping many of you people that are talking and talking and talking from running for some shit? It's pathetic. This is what's fucking taking over the country while you people are talking and talking and talking. It's fucking disgusting, man. All right? So you people that are criticizing me about, oh, you want the great replacement there. Hey, it's happening now whether you like it or not. And unless you get up off your fucking ass from that fucking video game or stop waxing your carrot to enemy, it's going to happen whether you like it or not, you stupid jerk. Jesus Christ. Let me get some rumble rants here. Red Eyes Black Dragon. Thanks, Trump. I feel like America is winning. Sarcasm, by the way. Yeah, no shit. And Wraith, so listening and taking in your perspective, Ghost, what would you recommend as a solution, at least helping yourself and those around you? Well, it's very interesting you say that there, Wraith. As I've stated, more than 60% of America is collecting a government check, whether it's disability, whether it's welfare, whatever. 60+%. We need to get rid of that shit, okay? Because much like what happened in Europe was the same thing that's happening to us now, but it happened to them about 40 or 50 years ago. After World War II, and when they took our money under the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe, they decided that because it's post-World War II and peace, that they were going to implement this socialist idea. And I don't know if y'all remember Europe during those times. I mean, it was a socialist utopia. I remember assholes back in the 80s and 90s that went to Europe and thought it was so great. I knew one asshole that spent 10 years in Europe. because it was the peak socialism, right? All those socialist assholes are like, oh, yes, I collect the government check, and I got a pension, and I only work 3 hours a day with 4-hour lunches, and all I do is I like to take drugs, I like to fuck, and I like to drink, and that's what we do out here in Europe. That's what they did for 30, 40 fucking years. And what happened to Europe? Europe became a docile piece of shit population. Not only did Europe become a docile piece of shit population, they didn't want to work. They were non-productive. And on top of being non-productive, they were not having children. So as a consequence, at some point, and this is what happens all the time in socialism, you fucking idiots, somebody runs out of money and somebody has to continue to pay for this shit. And that's exactly what happened in Europe. So what was the solution from the bureaucrats in Europe? Bring in a bunch of immigrants. The wild Yehudis from Middle East and elsewhere. And look, you could say what you want. I mean, you can agree to disagree, but the wild Yehudis are actually being productive in these European nations in which they're bringing them in. Meanwhile, these dumbass native Europeans are a bunch of pensioner fucking losers that are out here fucking drinking themselves to death or fucking whatever they do over there. They're not doing a goddamn thing. Okay? So that's the consequence of what happened to socialism in Europe. They are now being forced to be taken over. And there's no agenda. The agenda is that socialism made a docile European population. And there's no coming back from that. I mean, Europe realized, there's no coming back. The people, they don't want to work. They just want to continue to pay. They want us to continue to give them a check. That's how it is. And that's why they are now being replaced. Because there's no fucking coming back out of this. Once you're a socialist entitlement shithead, there's no snapping out of it. There's no like, oh, I got pride now. I'm not going to go and be a pensioner and be a fucking detriment to society. There is none. But that's where we're at now in America. All right? These folks that are in America right now, they're unproductive losers. I mean, they can't even participate appropriately in a government made for the people and by the people, for Christ's sake. And for all those that are saying that they were uninformed, especially if you listen to this broadcast, I said everything that was going to happen now before this idiot was elected in 24. This was not hard to call. But you idiots, with all due respect, American people, you are dumb fucks that think you know everything. And those are the most dangerous people in the world. A dumb fuck that thinks they know everything. Those are the most dangerous people in the world. And the result, what we're living in right now in this country. Anyway, let me take a couple more of these Rumble rants. My apologies here. We got Red Eyes Black Dragon. Dems are just going to back Hill Dog. They're not going to back Hillary Clinton. All right? Look, nobody knows who's going to be the Democrat nominee in 28. It's wide open. Gavin Newsom is not going to win. All right? Even if they run him, it's the biggest mistake the Democrats will fucking make. I don't give a shit. All you have to do is look at fucking Gavin Newsom's record and throw it all over the fucking ads on television. Nobody wants to be California. So this idea that Gavin Newsom is going to be a shoe-in as the Democrats, I think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. Cornbread man, when people find out the hard way and potentially wake up, it may be too late. It's already too late. Cornbread man, the fact that we're here, we're already too late. The fact that we've got a current situation that we're in, it's already too late. And let me take a couple of these buy me a coffees. Albino Ghost, what do you think about the Onion buying out InfoWars? Well, I don't know about that. I don't think that they have the right to buy out InfoWars. I know I've talked a lot of shit about Alex Jones, but I think it's pretty fucking shady what's happening. All right? And by the way, the Sandy Hook parents, I mean, how much money do these people need? All right, they already got $1 billion from Alex Jones. They're fucking suing everybody. They're going out on the speaking tour. I mean, just like fucking Eric Harris's fucking, or Derek Klebold. Remember the fucking Columbine kids? Why weren't those parents being thrown in jail? I mean, these kids in Columbine were planning the attack in their room. They had all the guns in their room, and yet when they did it, they were put on a pedestal? I mean, this is ridiculous. Anytime that you see a mass shooting, I think you should question everything. And the whole reason why, in my opinion, the Sandy Hook parents sued, and this is my opinion, they sued Alex Jones is because, they were trying to silence him. And this is a legal method in which they silence or attempted to silence Alex Jones. Anyway, a Jewish person that might be questionable. Ghost, can you run down what you believe is going to happen with Iran and the U.S. in the next couple of months? If you want my personal opinion, I think that Trump purposely wants the Iran war not to go anywhere. I think that he wants a quagmire. Because in his idiot fucking mind, he thinks that, well, we're the ones that are producing all the oil out here. We're the number one oil producer. So if, 40 or 50% of the oil that comes out of the Strait of Hormuz, if it's not coming out of there, they're going to come to us. And I don't think that's an appropriate strategy, because even though they come to us, they're not going to fucking love us. They're not going to care. They're not going to be like, oh, the Americans are great people anymore. We have damaged ourselves in the world stage. And look, you want to know what the end game is? If Trump keeps this up, what's going to happen is you're going to have a multilateral coalition that comes together to go against the United States. All right, and look, it's already emerging now. A multilateral group of nation states in order to confront America because of our belligerence in the international community. And I told you that was going to happen in 24. I told you people, you didn't listen. Now where are we at? And Blades calling thoughts about big booty gig or AOC is the Dem ticket. Dude, AOC is a fucking moron. All right, there's no way she could be a president or even a vice president. She can't even speak correctly. She can't even articulate her views. She doesn't even know what she believes in. All she does is spit out sentence fragments about some progressive crap without even articulating what the fuck she means. That's why whenever anybody interviews her, she tries to say things in very abstract language like your typical goddamn Democrat. All right? She doesn't speak in explicit reasoning. She doesn't explain how her abstract ideas are going to be actually practiced in reality. And Buttigieg, dude, fuck Buttigieg, dude. I don't think that people are ready for a Buttigieg, all right? I'll be honest with you. I am not going to vote for somebody that adopts a baby and they're a homosexual couple, especially after all the damn gay couples that have been fucking busted molesting their adopted children. I don't think so. Now, I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem with LGBTQ people. That's a part of America. But let me tell you something. I don't think that these folks should be around children. There's too much evidence that suggests that the probability of that being a nefarious sexual abuse situation is probable. It's very high. So that's how I look at it. So I will never vote for some man that is married to another man that adopts children. I can't do it. There's too much evidence that suggests that the probability of that child being molested or used in some sexual fucking deviancy is very high, and I can't do it. But AOC, she's not going to be. She's an imbecile. All right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying each and every one of the right wingers that are out there that feel betrayed by Trump. This is our time to take control of the Democratic Party. And why? Because they don't know who they are. The Democratic Party is in shambles. I mean, Trump has done so much incompetent shit, and yet there's nobody on the Democrat side that can capitalize on this crap, because all the Democrats have is this. Look at this dumb, ditzy, fucking big booty Latina whore. All right? And look at this. These are the people that are in the Democrat. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is the Democratic Party? This is the future of America? Are you fucking kidding me? They are ripe to be taken control. They are ripe to be taken over. They are ripe to be taken over because not everybody wants to be down with this progressive garbage. And let me tell you, there are people on the Democrat side that are centrist. You know, now that Trump is no longer fiscally conservative, remember he was going to cut from the budget, Doge, all this bullshit. Dude, this guy's we're approaching $60 trillion in the debt or some shit. $60 trillion. This guy was supposed to, not have that. There was supposed to be no debt, for Christ's sake. All of a sudden, you've got Democrats becoming fiscally conservative. You've got Democrats now becoming fiscally conservative because of Trump's outlandish spending. So that's one thing that we can correlate our right-wing views with some of the Democratic sect that is still a part of the Democratic Party. Fiscal conservatism. That's something that we can both agree with. The Republicans that aren't MAGA and the Democrats. All right? First and foremost, they're all of a sudden fiscal conservatives. Secondly, all of a sudden, because Trump and the Epstein situation, all of a sudden many of the goddamn Democrats are all of a sudden not necessarily wanting to sexualize children anymore. I'm not saying the progressives. I'm talking the more centrist. All right? They don't want to sexualize children anymore. Okay? So that's something that we can come to an agreement with, because we should never be sexualizing children in any capacity. All right? That's where the progressive needs to be put. They need to be just taken out and pushed aside in the Democrat Party. Because you're not winning America by suggesting that children need to have sex change operations or puberty blockers or any of that shit. You're not going to fucking win anybody with that crap. That's why the Democrat Party is there for the fucking taking. Am I proposing a hostile takeover? 100%. 100%. Listen to me. Anybody that's thinking about running anything, for anything, if they run a Democrat ticket and they run a centrist ticket where it's rational and reasonable and not fucking ridiculous woke crap, not this racial politics crap, not this sexual perversion of children crap, I think that you win against any Republican incumbent in 26 and in 28. I'm not joking. And I just told you that now, because of Trump, the Democrats are starting to become fiscally conservative. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right? And then because of Trump's links to the Epstein files, all of a sudden, some of the Democrats don't want to sexualize children anymore. What? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And because of the blatant corruption that this fucking Trump is doing with his family, with the fucking, with himself, with his companies and all this other bullshit, they want to go after the corruption that is happening. I mean, look, the latest one, Amazon discusses Apprentice reboot with fucking Donnie Jr., for Christ's sake. Like, we give a shit. Like, we want to fucking see Donnie Jr. on the fucking Apprentice. This is ridiculous. How much grifting are we going to allow this administration to do before we start recognizing that the whole goddamn thing is a corrupt piece of shit, and most of the people that are fucking lining their coffers and puffing their pockets with our tax money, these people need to be prosecuted. And that's why I think it's important for those of us that were betrayed by Trump, that were betrayed by MAGA, that were lied to, we need to hostily take control of the Democrat Party and use the Democrat Party to bring justice, all right, on those that have wiped their ass with the Constitution, that have fleeced America, that have blatantly corrupted this fucking system of ours. And unless those of us that stand up and recognize that something needs to be done, if there's not enough of us, then this fucking goddamn country is going to turn into a banana republic. All right? And Tesla Cyberheart, a hostile takeover, sounds like what David Hogg's did. David Hogg's a fucking moron. All right? Fuck David Hogg. All right? I'm not talking about some fruity-ass bastard who is just, playing fucking song and dances, pretending he's something that he's not. Fuck David Hogg. David Hogg, fuck you. Red Eyes Black Dragon, Southern Democrats rise the fuck up, the South will rise again. I'm not talking about that, all right? I'm just saying the Democrats are wide open. We can take control of the Democrats. All right, look at this. War on Iran, more unpopular than Vietnam. This is another thing. All right? The reason the war is unpopular, because it doesn't make any sense, first and foremost, why we're still there. Secondly, this idiot ran on an anti-war platform. He ran on an anti-war platform, and yet these magatards, and I'm talking about the quartering, the fucking libs of TikTok, and all this fucking MAGA chattering class that pretended to say all this shit in 2024, like the anti-war candidate. If we elect Kamala, she's going to put us into a war and all this crap. Now are saying why this war is great. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. So let me tell you, if you're still MAGA after this, you're a part of the goddamn problem on why this country is being flushed down the fucking toilet. You understand that? You're the fucking part of the problem. And I'm not joking. Look, I want to take control of the Democratic Party so that we can bring justice, all right, on those who have literally ruined this country, that have wiped their asses with the Constitution. Now, I would like to remind everybody that's in the military, I would like to remind everybody that's in law enforcement, You swear an oath to protect the Constitution, not sit here and become a cult of personality by this fucking disgusting leather bag. All right? Eye-opening graphics shows how Iran war is the most unpopular conflict in 76 years. Well, it's because many of you idiots voted that this wasn't going to happen. Many of you idiots voted that this was not going to happen, and yet, now that it's happening, you people are like, no, it's MAGA. You're a part of the problem. You're a part of the fucking problem. Donald Trump's war in Iran is more unpopular than Vietnam. And that's saying a lot. All right, that's saying a lot. But you see, Trump knows how stupid the American people are. I think he was quoted as saying, I could go outside and kill somebody, and the people will still love me. The people will still vote for me. That's how gullible the American people are. And that's why I'm saying, I don't think there's any turning back. I mean, the people that are the American people, they're ignorant. They are who they are, and there's no snapping them out of it. There's no snapping them out of it. The only thing that we can do is try to replace the American people. And look, I think we need an immigration policy that brings in people that are going to love this country, that know the Constitution, that know our civics more than American people. All right? That are going to be productive more than our American people. Because the American people caused this. I know that you people think, oh, yeah, make America great again. Yeah, this and that. You all caused this problem. How the fuck are we going to continue to trust the American people when you all brought this shit on us? You brought this shit on us, you fucking moron. So how the fuck are we going to trust this crop of fucking morons in America to partake in a government made for the people and by the people when they fell for this disgusting cult of personality? How are we going to fucking trust these American people? We can't. We can't. And Tesla Cyberheart, we need to take a step back and reassess America's moral code. We don't have a moral code, Tesla. We don't have a moral code. Look at these people that are in the chat room. Look at how many people have a fucking anime profile picture that looks like some fucking little girl. And we're gonna try to talk about a moral code? I mean, we've got Epstein files that's naming every fucking elite being part, at least closely affiliated with Epstein, and no one gives a shit. All right? How the fuck are we still taking orders from a person that's affiliated with some child sex trafficker? All right? How is that moral? I mean, we have lost the moral high ground in this country. We've lost it. We've lost it because we are morally bankrupt. The fact that you've got anime as the modern pop culture of America shows you that maybe, in my opinion, maybe, just maybe, the majority of the American people are okay with pedophilia. I mean, how else are you supposed to interpret that shit? How else are you supposed to interpret that shit? I mean, how many times have y'all seen in the paper, or excuse me, I'm speaking, that's my boomer talking, but how many times have you seen on the internet some stupid bitch that's a teacher in the education system molesting fucking students all over it's like every fucking day you have some stupid bitch that was shaking her ass in the club about 10 or 15 years ago that's now teaching children and are now sexually abusing them. How many fucking times do we hear that shit? Huh? And you're going to talk about a moral code in America? We have no moral code. That's the problem. That's why I'm saying there's no turning back from this. You people can get pissed off all you want to, but you know I'm telling the fucking truth. We have no morality. The fact that we're allowing this shit to happen because, I don't know, we got a bunch of losers that love Asmon Gold so much and think it's completely okay to wax your carrot to fucking animated girls that look like they're 6 or 7 years old. That's the problem. That's a fucking problem. But you see, the majority of the young people and the millennial and the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, they don't think it's a problem. They don't think it's a fucking problem. And that's why we need to replace American people. I'm sorry. All right, you could quote me on that. That's the only way we save this country. If we don't replace the American people, then we fall. We're going to turn into a third-rate, third-world, technocratic fucking nation that is going to be dictated by drones and Palantir, you fucking idiots. And maybe we deserve it. You know that? Maybe we fucking deserve it. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, what are we more worried about? What are we all worried about? What is the right wing saying? Oh, don't say nothing about Erica Kirk. Oh my God, don't say nothing about Erica Kirk. Look at it. Don't say nothing about Erica Kirk. Don't do it. Don't. Let me tell you something, all right? Let's go back to white males in America. Okay, let's just take a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about white males in America again. I had nothing bad to say about Charlie Kirk. The only thing that I didn't like about Charlie Kirk is that he was holding water for Trump during the Epstein files. All right? That's the only thing that I had against Charlie Kirk. Other than that, I thought that he was pretty consistent with his message. He was pretty consistent with his actions. But then, unfortunately, he got assassinated or killed or whatever happened. Okay? Then, all of a sudden, we were introduced to this bitch wife of his, which I don't care. I mean, I feel bad for the broad. You know, she lost her husband and shit. But all of a sudden, this broad is coming out like she's a rock star. She's going on tour. I mean, did y'all see that fucking, that shit that happened in Arizona, that memorial for fucking Charlie Kirk? They actually had a actual replica of the tent and all that shit that Charlie Kirk was assassinated under. They actually had that shit at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. And they were signing autographs under that shit. What kind of morbid shit is that? What kind of morbid shit is that? Anyway, Erica Kirk, who supposedly has 2 children, I've never seen these 2 children, given the fact that she's hopping all over the country. She's on the Charlie Kirk show. Why are they still calling the Charlie Kirk show the Charlie Kirk show? I don't get it. Anyway, after the whatever you want to believe happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I think it's let's just put it this way. Fox put out a poll on whether or not they believe that the assassination attempt over there at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was real. 80% of them said that they don't believe it was real. All right, that was Stuart Varney. That was during his particular show when he put out that poll. And it's because it's fake and gay. We're tired of this shit. How many times does Trump have to be assassinated, attempted, before we recognize that either the fucking Secret Service and the people that are hired to protect him are completely incompetent, or this is fucking fake and gay. And if you listen to Trump after the assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, he said that the damn Secret Service and everybody did great. He said he couldn't have been happier, even though they dragged out fucking J.D. Vance before him. So anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Erica Kirk just happened to be at the Correspondents' Dinner. And when the shots rang out, they purposely had a camera in front of her face while she was crying with no tears, walking out saying, "I want to go home." And then she tweeted out later on that night saying, "Oh, I'm gonna spend time with family, but I'll be on Wednesday to give my thoughts on what's happening." I mean, if you're that distraught, all right, if you are in that much mourning, why in the fuck do you have the ability to get on the goddamn broadcast, on Charlie Kirk's broadcast, by the way, to be able to say whatever the hell it is that you're saying? I mean, you're exploiting this shit. This is all about money. This is all about money. And how this soulless cunt can do this is beyond me. Put the PC shot on. I tweeted at this. This was her fucking Wednesday show, post White House Correspondents' Dinner. And notice how she's dressed like a fucking Columbine kid. What the fuck does that mean? What is this? I mean, who's telling her to do this shit? She's dressed like a fucking Columbine kid, dude. Anyway, listen to what she's saying here, all right?
While we may have big problems with illegal immigration in this country, I have to tell you, we have an even bigger problem when it comes to the systemic indoctrination and radicalization of our own citizens.
The indoctrination and radicalization of our own citizens. So, I mean, maybe me and her have a, common ground. I agree. I think the American public are a bunch of idiots.
This is what got my husband killed. This is what has led to 3 legitimate attempts on President Trump's life.
I'm not too sure about that. We can only believe what you tell us. Go ahead.
And I can speak firsthand to that unbearable toll that this must take on our First Lady.
Unbearable toll. She doesn't even want to hold his hand. Did y'all see when the First Lady and Trump were visiting fucking Charles and fucking Camilla, whatever her fucking old-ass leather bag name is? All right? She didn't even want to hold his hand. What do you mean the toll that it's having on the First Lady? She didn't want to hold his hand.
There has never been a president who has faced this many assassination attempts in Americans' entire history.
Dude, Gerald Ford, they tried to kill him twice in 1 month. All right? Look up Gerald Ford, all right? This has happened before, you dumb broad.
And after each one, the reaction from the far left has been, at best, a shrug, and in some cases, a sick disappointment that the shooter was unsuccessful.
Well, I'm not, on that department, all right? I'm not trying to say that Trump should be killed or any of that shit, but I think that we should use the political process in hopes of voting him out of office, and then once a power is obtained by an opposition, we use state power in order to prosecute all these people that have put us through hell. Because that's exactly what has happened in this country. All right? These people that are in power, this is a so-called Republican majority under Trump, they are putting us through hell.
We are all human beings. And if you can just pause.
Pause what?
And just take a minute and ask yourself.
What?
How would you feel if even just one person made cruel jokes about the attempted murder of your loved one?
Unfortunately, that's the freedom of speech. All right, broad? And you see, this is where Erica Kirk incepts the idea that we need to now, all of a sudden, police speech now. Trump is now parroting that shit. All of a sudden, the anti-woke have become the woke. So for all you idiots that are sitting over here, oh, look at Ghost, she's trying to be a Democrat. Hey, you are Democrat. I tried to tell you in 24 that there's no difference of Trump in 2024. I compared Trump 2024 to Trump 2008. Or Obama 2008, because it was the same people backing him up. Now they're going to come after speech. How dare you talk against, fucking this or that. I'm not joking around.
That is what Jimmy Kimmel did to the First Lady. He said that she had the glow of an expected widow.
Look, I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's a woke piece of shit. But I do believe that he has the right to say that. All right? I know it may not sit well with you. It may not sit well with fucking Erica Trump. He has the right to say that shit. This is America. Unless he's directly fucking threatening the president or any official, he has the right to say that, you dumb cunt.
The glow of an expected widow. Just 48 hours before that nightmare almost became a reality. In this culture we're living in, absorbs disagreement as a form of personal betrayal. It turns having an opposing viewpoint into a moral crime worthy of punishment.
You're just talking about fucking regulating speech, you dumb broad. And this is what I tweeted at her, by the way. I said, can you please just go away? All right, and be a mother to your children since you claim to be a Christian conservative. It's obvious people will never like you like they love Charlie Kirk, and you're ruining his name every time you show your ugly mug on camera. Enough is enough. All right, seriously. And by the way, I'm not trying to besmirch Charlie Kirk's name, but remember, Charlie Kirk advocated. He spent his lifetime going from campus to campus, speech to speech, propagating the idea of a white Christian family and morality and Christianity and this and that. And then to take a look at the actions of his so-called widow and how she's just taking everything he did. I mean, Turning Point USA was built on the back of Charlie Kirk specifically. And this broad's just going to come in and pretend that she was the one that did all the work? She's going to come in and just take all the fucking money and the prestige and the credibility when she didn't do a goddamn thing? I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. Now, given that, doesn't that technically mean, and I'm sorry, Charlie Kirk, R.I.P. to you, man. You really didn't do anything horrible. But doesn't this mean that Charlie Kirk, everything he advocated, it's wrong? It's a failure? You know? Because let me tell you something right now. If I lost Mrs. Ghost, I would not be, doing this show. I would be in a sabbatical somewhere for years until I figured out what the fuck I was going to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? Same with Mrs. Ghost. If she lost me, she wouldn't be out here like, yeah, she wouldn't be taking over the fucking Ghost Show and the True Capitalist Radio Show and pretending that she was the one that did all this fucking work. This is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, going back to how I began this broadcast, white America, they were the ones that went out and voted for Trump because they thought they were going to be the prestigious, exclusive group that was going to be put on a pedestal, all right, with the mass deportations that fucking Trump promised you and all this crap. And lo and behold, y'all are now being, with all due respect, demoralized. And for all you people that are out here saying that, it's not fair, I want mass deportation. I told you there was not going to be any mass deportations because the majority of the people, particularly white millennials and Gen Zers, you don't want to work. You don't want to work. You're non-productive. Y'all are fucking following Asmon Gold and thinking that fucking life in America is waxing your carrot to fucking anime girls that look like 8 or 9 years old, eating chicken tendies all day, and getting your thumbs bruised on a fucking video game. So the next time I hear, there's a white genocide, you're the people that are putting it together. You're the people that are causing it on yourself. White genocide is happening because of white males. All right? Anyway, trolling the interwebs with a Rumble rant said, yeah, Ghost, she's a Zionist Israel thumper. Of course she hates free speech. Well, then why did Charlie Kirk marry her? I mean, doesn't that nullify everything that Charlie Kirk ever advocated and stood for? Doesn't it mean that the fact that this broad is acting how she's acting and she's not being a conservative mother, she's not taking care of her children, she's more worried about the grift that this fucking guy put his blood, sweat, and tears into creating. And she's coming over here and taking it like she was a part of the whole goddamn thing. Like she was Bernadine Dorn or some shit. She's coming out here like she was Bernadine Dorn, that she was out there with Bill Ayers and shit, committing terrorist acts. And, give me a break. It's bullshit. So anyway, I don't want to fucking talk too much about this dumb broad, but doesn't it validate that everything that Charlie Kirk advocated is nullified? It doesn't exist. It's a false. It's a fugazi, if I can use the vernacular of our Italian brethren out there. It's a fugazi. Anyway, Red Eyes Black Dragon, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, but you married a crazy bitch. Well, she's white, supposedly, right? I mean, that's what fucking Charlie Kirk advocated. A white American family, a Christian family. And how Christian is this? How Christian is you taking control of your husband's fucking organization that you had nothing to do with? You had absolutely nothing to do with, and you're taking ownership of it like you were a fucking part of it? Unfucking believable. But this is where we're at in America. And you've actually got all the MAGA chattering class trying to come to her defense and saying, oh, how dare you talk about her? How dare you? Hey, if you're going to be political, all right, you better accept whatever anybody says. If you're a public figure, you've just got to accept whatever anybody says. I mean, that's the fucking game. That's how we fucking roll. That's how anybody who's public figure understands it. And now you've got the right, who was talking all this shit about the woke left, is now trying to regulate speech because, you're hurting my feelings. Oh, you're hurting my feelings. It's just like James Comey. He just got indicted, right? I mean, forget about child sex trafficking rings. Forget about all the bad shit that's happening all across the country. You got fucking people getting their asses beat by ethnic minorities out here who are just running amok. I mean, how many more fucking people do we have to see beaten and bludgeoned for no fucking reason before we start recognizing that the FBI isn't really doing what they're supposed to be doing? Anyway, FBI Director James Comey, former FBI Director, has been indicted and now turned himself in because he tweeted this right here, all right? This is what he tweeted, okay? 86-47. Well, it's very interesting because Jack Posobiec did the same thing on January 29th, 2022, and he said 86-46. So this goes to show you how incompetent the Department of Justice and the FBI is right now, because this fucking goddamn case is dead on arrival. All right? James Comey is going to have this case thrown out unless Jack Posobiec is fucking indicted. All right? And look, Department of Justice and FBI, if you have any real justice, if you're like blind lady justice with the pendulum, then you would be going raiding fucking Jack Posobiec's house right now and arresting him for doing the same fucking shit. All right? For the same shit. So this is where we're at in this country. All right? Our fucking authorities, our law enforcement, our federal law enforcement is being used in order to pay back people for personal vendettas. So this is where we're at in this country, man. I mean, how are we going to take this back? Well, those of us that were betrayed by the right wing, the MAGA, this current GOP that is literally doing anything that Trump says, this GOP has betrayed us all. And the only way that we're going to be able to get justice, the only way that we're going to change this disgusting, despicable corruption that has been bestowed upon us by this administration, the only way we're going to do that is if we take control of the Democratic Party. And as I stated, all of a sudden, because of Trump, the Democrats have become fiscally conservative. All of a sudden, they care about the debt. And you see, that's a common ground that those of us that are on the right, when we hostilely take over the Democratic Party, that's one thing that we can all agree on. Ideas. All right. Another thing is that because of the Epstein file connection with Trump, all of a sudden, the Democrats are not wanting to sexualize children anymore. That's another idea that we can come together on. And another thing that we can come together on, folks, is that there's like $60 trillion on the deficit. Where's all that money going? Huh? I'll tell you where it went. It went to the tech bros. It went to Big Pharma. It went to all these corporations, all right, that used our tax money that we had to pay here, April 15th, that we had to pay. They used our tax money in order for them to fund their research and development for their own proprietary research and development products. Now, if you want my opinion, because the fact that you have Palantir and Elon Musk and these tech bros, Big Pharma, all these people that used our tax dollars in order for them to create research and development products for their profit, how come the United States people don't have a piece of that? All right? I mean, that's something that the Republicans that got betrayed by MAGA, and that's something that the Democrats can both come together on. All right, because that fucking bullshit that these big tech fucking assholes, that these fucking Big Pharma assholes created on our dime, part of that is ours. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a self-made person that didn't collect a goddamn dime from the government, well, then you're a self-made man. There's, hey, that's America. That's capitalism. If you're a self-made man or a self-made woman, and you didn't take a damn cent from the government, that's what capitalism is. What's being practiced right now, whether you fucking idiot MAGA people want to admit it or not, is fucking communism. Just like I said in 24. As a matter of fact, there's a show that's named MAGA Communism in the archive on YouTube Live and on Rumble. MAGA communism. That's exactly what is happening right now. No, all of a sudden, Ghost wants socialism. No, it's not. You know what's socialism? Our tax dollars being used for that, so that fucking Elon Musk can fucking throw piece of shit rockets in the air. Okay? All right? It's our tax dollars funding these people's research and development. Hey, do you have tax dollars that funded your goddamn life? Well, maybe a stimulus, but that was the fucking pennies. That was pennies. And you people were okay with that. I'm telling you right now. I mean, this is what we need to do. This is something we need to advocate. And cheers to Jones, who hooked it up with 5 gifted subs over there at Rumble, man. How you doing? I hope to see you tomorrow on the Ghost Show. By the way, there is going to be a Ghost Show tomorrow. Cheers to you, Jones. And then we've got, what is this? Crossover Maniac. Democrats always complaining about the debt when Republicans are in power. When the Democrats take over, they spend as much as Republicans. The party is not... No. Listen, Crossover Maniac. The reason the Democrats and the Republicans do that is because the American people are fucking stupid. The American people are fucking stupid. And unfortunately, when you have a government made for the people and by the people, and the people are idiots, this is what you have. You don't have enough well-informed people that understand politics enough to understand that, hey, we got to hold these people's feet to the fire. Every election, you've seen it, every election, everybody's like, yeah, vote for this prick, vote for that prick. And then once they're elected, it's over, and everybody goes back to their fucking, throwing about 3 or 4 fingers in their ass, gyrating it counterclockwise to enemy, or getting their thumbs bruised with video games. All right? That's the problem with America. So don't blame the government, you idiot. Blame the fucking idiot that looks at you in the mirror every morning, because that's the problem. Because the government is only a representation of us, right? I mean, that's why we have the House of Representatives. They're supposed to be representing us. And when you people are electing these corrupt fucking idiots that you're not holding the feet to the fire to, then why are you complaining? You're not even partaking in the political process. You idiots thinking that political process is posting stupid fucking memes on the internet or some shit. All right? But you don't know what politics is because you don't know shit. And until the American public comes to the realization that they don't know shit, we're going to continue to suffer. And that's why I'm saying I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think these people are going to snap out of it anytime soon. So the only fucking choice we have, if we want to save this country, we want to truly save this country, is we got to bring in people that replace these idiots. All right? And look, I don't care who they are. I think we need a comprehensive immigration policy that brings in people based on merit, based upon whether or not they love this country, whether they'll lay down their lives for this country, whether they'll lay down their children's lives for this country, whether they know the Constitution, whether they know the rule of law, whether they really appreciate the freedom of this fucking place. That's who I want in this country. I'm tired of these stupid American assholes who don't even give a shit about themselves. They don't even give a shit about their fucking children. They don't give a shit about anything. As long as they get their little dopamine fix on whatever the fuck gets them off. That's all America is at this point in time. So that's the only way we save this country. And that's why I'm saying those of us that got betrayed by the goddamn right wing, we got to take control of the Democratic Party. It's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. All right, that's why the Democrats haven't capitalized on any of the incompetence by Donald Trump. And believe me, there's a bunch of incompetence in that department. That's why the goddamn Democrats haven't been able to capitalize. Because they have no ideas. They have nobody with any kind of inspiration or any kind of charisma. All they have is a bunch of fake fucking people. All right? And if they're not fake, they're idiots like AOC. That's why I'm calling on anybody. All right, especially if you were right-wing that were fucking betrayed by Trump. Run for something under the Democratic ticket. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you how easy this is. Let's go ahead and take a look at AOC here again, all right? You know how AOC came to power? Let me tell you a story. Many of you may already know, but it bears repeating. This dumb, stupid cunt came to power because there was a guy in a district and she wasn't even from this district. She just happened to move in that district, lived there for about a year, became a bartender in this district, all right? And through that bartender job, she convinced enough hard legs to attend the Democrat precinct primary in her district, okay? And what ended up happening is because Crowley, who is a 9-term House of Representative in this district, he ran unopposed on most of those elections. That means he had no opposition in the Republican Party. He thought he was just going to be able to walk right in there. AOC got enough hard legs, convinced enough of them to go to the precinct party primary, and she had more people at that precinct meeting than Crowley. And because she had more people at that precinct meeting than Crowley, she just walked right into Congress because there was no opposition in the Republican Party. So she literally convinced a bunch of hard legs at the bar that she was bartending, like, hey, I'm going to do that. Well, however she convinced them. Maybe she convinced them that there was a party there. Maybe she convinced, I don't know how she convinced them. But she convinced them all to converge on the Democrat precinct meeting, which happens during the primary. And because she had more people there than Crowley, she became the nominee, and she just walked right into Congress. That's how easy it is. And especially, even if there is an incumbent, even if you have to run against somebody, if they're unpopular, all you have to do is fucking go out there and say why they're unpopular, why you hate them, why the people should hate them, why they should vote for you. And Red Eyes Black Dragon, Mr. Beast for man, fuck Mr. Beast, man. And by the way, Mr. Beast, fuck you, man. All right? You're a fucking fraud, you're a phony, and you make me sick. And I'm tired of seeing your ugly face. All right? And Cocktroop, any political figures that were in the Epstein files list didn't step up and capitalize in politics. What a wasted opportunity for everyone. Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm telling anybody that's right wing right now that was betrayed by MAGA, run for anything under the Democrat Party. And what we can do is we could still have right wing ideas that we implement in the Democrat Party. Fiscal conservatism is something now the Democrats are now all of a sudden going towards. The Epstein files is something that we're going towards. I just mentioned that these fucking corporations, you know, the big tech, big pharma that are getting our tax dollars. I mean, is it fair that these assholes like SpaceX and, you know, Pfizer and all these fucking idiots got our tax dollars in order for them to pay for their research and development to develop a product that they capitalize on without paying us back a goddamn dime? How is that fair? How the fuck is that fair? It's not fair, and it's not capitalism, it's fucking communism is what it is. And I fucking hate communists and socialists. All right? I want capitalists. I want people that are self-made, that don't need taxpayer dollars. And if you're going to take taxpayer dollars, then the American people own a piece of that shit. All right? If you take taxpayer dollars as a company, then the American people own a piece of that shit. Anyway, Crossover Maniac, then run for Congress as a Democrat in 2028 if you really believe. Go fuck off. All right? First of all, get $50 off your shit. Listen, let me tell you something. All right? Crossover Maniac. The only reason you're saying that is because you've been listening to me for years and all you do is wax your fucking carrot, dude. All right? I hate, that's the thing about internet people. Most of the people on the internet, they're losers. I mean, with all due respect, all right? Most of the people on the internet are fucking losers. I mean, they wouldn't be on the internet if they had a fucking life. And it's so easy to be such a fucking jerk off and such a troll on the internet. And speaking of which, if we saw many of you in real life, we would see the disgusting, slovenly, four-eyed, freckle-faced, beaten stepchild that you are, the obese, disgusting piece of shit that you are, and that's why you're behind the internet. All right? So why don't you run for something? I'm an old piece of shit. You're probably a young man. Why don't you run for something, you fucking loser? Of course you're not. You don't want to fucking leave your stupid video game. You don't want to leave your fucking anime. I mean, it'd be one thing if you actually had a girl that was waxing your carrot. Most of you don't. And you want to know why all of you idiots that have a goddamn anime profile picture don't have a fucking girlfriend? Because a girl isn't going to want to drop her panties while you're sitting there waxing your carrot to animated imported fucking females that look like they're 7 or 8 years old, you dumb fuck. And Blades : I'd vote for AOC as bedwench. That's great. You see, this is America right here. This is America. And you see, right now, nobody wants to be political anymore. I even fucking saw a little bit of a bit by Owen Swarrior why everybody's taking a break from politics. There ain't no taking a break from politics. All right, but look, this is America right now. You brought Trump into power. All of you idiots. I remember in 24. It's in the archive. Go to the goddamn archive in YouTube Live right now on my channel. Go back to the 2024 era and look at all these same names that you're seeing right now. Take a look at all them talking shit to me that I was a fucking Democrat and I didn't know shit and MAGA was going to do this and we're going to make America great again and yada, yada, yada. These same idiots are now sitting there flapping their fat Cheeto-stained fingers fucking talking bullshit, troll shit because they don't want to be yanked out for the hypocrite, not knowing shit people that they are. All right? And by the way, this is totally American right here. This is totally American. Take a look at this. 6 in 10 say they try to avoid Trump news. Huh? That's great. That's fucking great. All right? So let me tell you something. This is why I think, and you could quote me on this, I don't give a fuck. The only way we save this country is we replace the American people. And look, I'm not trying to say everybody in America is a shithead. Believe me, there's 40% of you, believe it or not, that are still hard workers, that still try to raise your family, that all you want to do is participate in life without having to be burdened by fucked up, dumbass policy. Okay? I know there's still 40% of you out there, but there are 60%. Believe me. I'm talking, if you're collecting any kind of an entitlement, I don't give a shit what it is. You're a part of the problem. Because as I stated earlier, this is the exact same shit that happened to Europe. All right? Europe turned its citizenry into a bunch of dependent, socialist, non-productive fucking morons. And as a result, Europe ran out of money to continue to give to these losers. So how do you create a productive population out of a non-productive, socialist fucking shithead population? You can't. So they replace these people, all right? Because the Europeans, they don't want to stop collecting the pension. They don't want to stop collecting the socialism. They want to continue to be losers. And, you know, the same people that are saying that they hate the immigrants and they hate this and they hate that, why don't you ask them how much they're collecting in a pension over there in fucking Europe? Huh? Why don't you ask them if they're willing to give up everything and have pure austerity in order for Europe to be great again? They won't. They won't. All right? Jesus Christ. And Cocktroop, I blame the education system. Well, let's just talk about the education system now that you brought it up there, Cocktroop. I hate the public education system. That's something that I have been consistent all throughout the situation, throughout my whole TCR career, if you want to call it that. All right? I've said that the public education system has done more damage than any terrorist could have done to our country. Why? Because they've dumbed down our children to the point where they don't even know shit from Shinola. All right? Seriously. And if I were a leader, I'm not joking. I mean, since Trump is acting unilaterally over here and is doing whatever the fuck he wants because, I don't know, he's Mr. King President or whatever the fuck his name, whatever he thinks he is. But since he has the ability, and I guess the government is going to allow him have the ability to have unilateral decision-making, I would round up every fucking educator in America. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit if you're a fucking public educator or a professor. I would round you all up and throw you in prison. And if you're a fucking public educator and you're taking offense to this, you're a part of the problem. You're no different than the fucking Nazi guards, all right, that were fucking guarding the concentration camps. All right? You're no fucking different than them, you fucking public education pieces of shit. I can't stand if you're a fucking public educator, you're a piece of shit. All right? You're a piece of shit and you're a part of the problem. You could quote me on that as well. All right? I would have each and every one of you public educators in prison for what you have done to this country. I'm not fucking joking. I am not kidding. If you're a public educator, get off my fucking show right now. All right? Fuck you. You're not even human to me if you're a fucking public educator. All right? You're like a fucking cockroach to me if you're a fucking public educator or a professor. I would fucking throw you in prison and fucking throw away the key for what you have done to this country, what you have done to these people. All right? Just think about this for a second, folks, okay? I know it sounds extreme. Everybody's like, holy shit, I can't believe Ghost is saying this. Just think about this for a second. We've spent more money on education than any other country in the world. All right? We've spent trillions on education, and take a look at the products that we have. I mean, the amount of money that we've spent on education, every goddamn United States citizen should be a Mensa member. All right? But that's not the case. On the contrary, we've gotten dumber and dumber. All right, we've gotten dumber and dumber. And why is that? Why is that? Let me explain what public education really is. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Public education, because it's government funded, okay, It's nothing more than a mini prison system for children. As a matter of fact, the prison system is the exact same system as public education. All right, I'm not joking around. I mean, you know, when you walk down the hallway, you got to walk in line. You got to put your hands behind your back. You go from fucking classroom to classroom. You have a goddamn lunch in a cafeteria. Same shit as prison. Same shit as prison. You know, they give you a tray, they slop crap on you in a fucking cafe. It's the same shit. All right? Now, what public education is really doing, it's actually taking our children and guiding them into being a part of system to system. Let me give you an example. When you go to school, the social environment is so bad that there's going to be fights in that school, right? And when you get into a fight, and, you know, I don't know, let's say you kick somebody's ass, break their nose or some shit, well, they're going to take you to jail, and they're going to take you to the juvenile hall system, okay? And once you get out of the juvenile hall system, you're going to be a part of the probation system, all right? Let's say you're in school, you're a popular kid, you bang some broad, you didn't pull out or you didn't use a condom or whatever, now all of a sudden she's pregnant, you're going to be a part of the child support system. You're going to be a part of the free child care system. I mean, do you understand? That's all that public education is doing. All right? They're no different than the Nazi guards that were protecting the concentration camps. And that's why I'm saying, if you're a public educator, fuck you. If you're a public educator or a professor, you should be in prison. All right? You should be in fucking prison, you piece of shit. This is all that public education is. And look, the only thing that I agree with Trump on, all right, I mean, look, there's some things that I agree with this administration. One of the things that I agree is the dismantling of the goddamn fucking Department of Education. And if you want my opinion, it would be a great day, a great goddamn day in American history when every fucking teacher is looking for a fucking job. When they're all laid off and have to use their little stupid bureaucratic mind, which they don't even have to think. I mean, have you ever talked to a bureaucrat in the public education system? They're fucking stupid as shit. They're dumber than shit. And by the way, have you ever seen the family of a fucking public educator? It's complete disarray. That's why most public educators' children end up becoming fuck-ups. All right? They end up becoming juvenile delinquents. They end up becoming fucking drunkards or fucking bad people because why? These dumbass teachers spend more time at their goddamn stupid job than they do with their children. Now, I know there's people in here saying, well, Ghost, what about the parents? Does the parents bear responsibility? No, they don't. And let me explain why. Because the parents, they are forced by law to send their children to a fucking prison public education system, and they spend more time with these fucking dumb, ridiculous, no personality having disgusting bureaucrats than they do with their own goddamn parents. So how the hell are you going to tell the parents that they are held responsible when they're in the goddamn possession of these fucking bureaucrats most of their fucking life? How the fuck is the parent supposed to be responsible? That's why I say, let me tell you something, this is an idea here. Why don't we just get rid of public education? Just get rid of education altogether. And then once that happens, we put laws in which the parents bear responsibility for whatever juvenile delinquency their child participates in. Because right now, the parent doesn't bear any responsibility, whatever their fucking kid does. All right, they hold no responsibility. And look, they have a case because, like I said, most of their child's time is in the possession of a goddamn bureaucratic system called the prison public education system. But if we get rid of all this shit, we get rid of the public education system, and we make a law that, look, okay, just because there's no school doesn't mean that you can fucking throw your kids out in the street so that they can go and rob cars or beat up people or drug deal or whatever the case might be. If anybody under the age of 18 under this policy participates in any kind of juvenile delinquency or crime, the parents should bear responsibility legally. The parents should do some time. I guarantee you right now, if we did what I just suggested, get rid of public education, put the parents responsible for the children, And the children who participate in juvenile delinquency, the parents have to bear legal responsibility. I guarantee you, we wouldn't have too much juvenile delinquency really fucking fast. Really fast. But of course, that isn't going to happen because look at all the vested interest that is in public education. The teachers union is the biggest union in the nation. So they have more political clout than the parents do over their own children. So I'm telling you right now, what great, even dumber people? Dude, look around you. You think that we live in a Mensa America? I mean, do you think that we live in the fucking America that we lived in the 80s or 90s? We don't! And it's because of the education system, you fucking dumb shit! We can't get any dumber, if you want my opinion. We cannot get any dumber. And especially when you've got most of these autists out here, with all due respect to autism, I don't fucking like autists, with all due respect, all right? You people are a bunch of complaining, fucking excuse-making pieces of trash that make me want to throw up nasty chicken grease, corn oil, and cream of wheat. You know that? You autists are the reason why this whole fucking country is being flushed down the toilet. All right? You know it, and I know it. All right? You know it, and I know it. And cheers to Valentine Broadcasting, who hooked it up with 10 gifted subs over there at Rumble. Cheers to you, Valentine Broadcasting. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for chilling here with us. And if you've got a gifted sub on Rumble from Valentine Broadcasting or Jones, please be sure to thank them with all due respect, man. Cheers to both of you, man. Good to see you, Valentine Broadcasting. No joke. Anyway, folks, look, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. And I really didn't have anything planned to say, but I just went off on a whole bunch of random different thoughts because we need to start thinking about ideas. And there's a lot of ideas that I kind of went through very fast on this broadcast. If you have to go into the archive in order to kind of go over it again, I would suggest do so. But I don't want to talk in abstract language anymore, all right? I don't want to talk in abstract language. I am giving you all solutions to problems, whether you agree to them or not. If you don't agree with them, what's your fucking solution? Huh? Instead of pissing and moaning. What's your fucking solution? I mean, what? I mean, that's the problem. Nobody has a solution. I'm giving you fucking solutions to problems, whether you agree or disagree. That's what we need in this country. We need solutions, not a bunch of abstract bullshitters. And that's what most of the people that are in Congress and the Senate are right now. They're just a bunch of abstract bullshitters that talk in circles. You know, like that fucking idiot that was debating Owen Schroyer. What the fuck was that guy's name? This fat femme piece of shit. I mean, I saw that debate. If you didn't see it, I wouldn't suggest you see it because it's pathetic. But this guy was talking in abstract circles. All right, abstract circle. Yeah, Andrew Wilson. Hey, Andrew Wilson, fuck you, you fat, effeminate piece of fucking abstract circle talking, just like a Democrat piece of shit. I talk in explicit dialectic detail. I don't talk in abstract language. You're not going to fucking hear abstract language from Ghost. I give you explicit detail into what fucking problems and solutions are. Anyway, Cock Troop, So what would you do to a system that enables these autists to be free and play video games all day instead of work? Well, if you want my opinion, I think that we need to make psychiatry and psychology illegal. It is a fucking pseudo-fucking science. All right? It's a pseudo-fucking science, man. And if you don't believe me, well, here, let me see if I can find this. All right? Let me see if I can find it. I just saw this clip. I should have fucking bookmarked it. But let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Here is somebody going up to psychiatrist at the ADA convention. I think this was back in maybe the early 2000s. And this interviewer asked these psychiatrists, how many people have you cured? How many people have you cured? Listen to this. This is absolutely fascinating. That's why this should be illegal. Psychology and psychiatry should be illegal. Play this shit. Here it is.
How many patients have you been able to cure so far?
I would say one.
One? Huh? Yeah.
I have cured none of my patients.
None of my
How many
patients.
people have I cured? Well, there are no real cures right now in psychiatry.
How many patients?
Do you hear that? There's no real cures. I've only cured one. It's bullshit. All right? Psychology and psychiatry made autism, in my personal opinion. All right? So it's a pseudoscience. It's garbage. And if you're a psychologist and a psychiatrist, go fuck yourself. All right? How do you live with yourself, you fucking stupid piece of shit? So all I'm simply stating is that's the problem. We need to get rid of those people and eliminate their jobs. All right? And also, it's a little bit of the parents' responsibility, but then again, the parents have plausible deniability, saying, hey, look, the people in the school told me, because that's usually what happens, right? The public educators tell the parents that, oh, we think your child has a problem. We think this, we think that. Maybe they need to see a psychologist. Maybe they need to see a psychiatrist. Anyway, we got a couple more donos here from Buy Me a Coffee. Haywood, interesting. I was under the impression our toppling of multiple governments in Africa and Middle East coupled with Jewish and bleeding heart retarded NGOs brought migrants to Europe. Well, that's because you don't know shit from Shinola, Haywood. All right? I just told you why Europe thought it was rational to bring in all these wild Yehudis into Europe. It's because these socialist schlonghead Europeans didn't want to go to work and they were non-productive, and somebody needs to pay taxes. Somebody needs to work. And then he says, yeah, great. Mrs. Ghost would at least stick to a schedule. Real funny, Haywood. The reason I haven't done True Capitalist Radio is because I predicted the future of all this shit in 24. I predicted all this shit back in 24, and you idiots laughed. You thought, I remember the day after the election. Listen to that show. All right? Here, let me show you with this. Let me show you. Go to my fucking YouTube channel, GhostPolitics, all right? And take a look at the 2024 broadcast. Put the PC shot on. Look at the 2024. These are all here. Look, they're all here. Listen to these broadcasts. I fucking predicted everything that has happened. The only thing that hasn't happened yet is a lockdown. But I think that we're about to have that. And if you want my opinion, the reason it's going to happen is because of energy. All right? There's going to be energy lockdowns, potentially food lockdown. There's going to be a lockdown. That's the only thing that I predicted that has not come to pass yet. All right? So I challenge you. I challenge you to go back to these fucking 2024 era shows. All right? And it'll prove to you that Ghost was predicting the future. And did anybody give a flying fuck? No, they didn't. And by the way, get these fucking people out of here. All right, get out of here. All right? Anyway, Crossover Maniac, thank you, Ghost, for your harsh criticism of psychology. We need more online comedians to speak out against it. I'm not a fucking online comedian, Crossover Maniac. You're probably some autist that has a breakdown anytime your stupid whore mother doesn't give you chicken tendies, and the only reason that you're justifying it is because some fucking psychologist asshole is telling your mother that you have to put up with this shit. All right? Fuck you and your mother. How you like that shit? And your psychologist, you stupid son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. You see, this is the America that we have to deal with. These are the American people that we have to deal with. And you can quote me on this. The only way we save this country is if we replace these fucking people. We need a comprehensive immigration policy that, first of all, eliminates chain migration, eliminates the immigration lottery system, redefines the asylum system, and we need a comprehensive immigration force that vets each and every person that comes into this country. Because I certainly don't want a bunch of Somalians coming into this country, all right? I certainly don't want a bunch of Haitians coming into this country, all right? I certainly don't want a whole bunch of third worlders coming into this country. I want the best of the best coming here. I want people that love this country, that are going to be productive in this country, that are going to pay taxes in this country. I want people that are going to sacrifice themselves if need be for the country, sacrifice their children, all right? And by the way, Kirk Johnson, you're out of the fucking inner circle. Kick his ass out of the inner circle, all right? Get him out of here. I'm going to kick your ass out now. Get him out. Get this piece of shit out. You're on my inner circle. Get this fucking asshole out of here. All right? Get him out. Kick him the fuck out of here, you fucking piece of shit. Get out. I'm going to fucking sit here and talk shit. Get this fucking asshole out of my fucking inner circle, you fucking stupid loser. All right? You're a homosexual, for Christ's sake. Why the fuck are you talking shit? Literally, Kirk Johnson's a fucking homosexual, and he has the audacity to talk shit? Why don't you go service a glory hole, you fucking stupid loser, and get HIV in the ass, you fucking moron? The audacity. You see, this is the bad part about it. With all due respect to our gay brethren out there, our gay people, our gay friends out there, all right? All right? You need to cut it out with all the, oh, look, I'm on PrEP, and I can get pause loads anytime I want to, and not thinking that that's not going to affect your psychological makeup. Huh? I'm serious. I'm not joking around. I mean, you've got to fucking recognize that, hey, maybe I should be a responsible gay and not think that, oh, I'm taking a pill, and oh my God, I can let anybody pooge in my ass and nothing's going to happen. Fucking piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here, fucking loser. Anyway, folks, look, I've already been on here for 2 hours. All right, it's 8 p.m. right now. I am going to do a ghost show tomorrow. All right? And the ghost show is a little different. Obviously, I'm a little harsh right now. I've been sober for 7 days. I've actually fucking cold turkey everything because I've got a fucking ulcer, believe it or not. I wonder why, right? But I'm just saying, man, I've had to cold turkey booze, smoke, sugar, spicy foods, fatty steaks, citrus, all this bullshit. So please excuse the shit out of me if I'm a little moody, especially when it comes to very serious subject matters like this. But the ghost show tomorrow is a little different. It's a little tomfoolery. It's going to start at 8 p.m. and wherever you're listening, well, actually, not YouTube. I don't do the ghost show on YouTube or on X. But make sure to go on Rumble, all right? Rumble is the chat on the screen on the ghost show. And cheers to everybody in the Rumble chat. I appreciate you, man. Cheers, baby, cheers. And anybody who's out there, if you want to partake in some more chatter, specifically in relation to the serious stuff, consider becoming a True Capitalist Radio member. Okay, you get exclusive access to the True Capitalist Radio member chat, and we talk about nothing but serious info in there. All right, whatever tier, hook it up. We appreciate it. All right. Anyway, I thank each and every one of you for listening to this broadcast. Whether you agree or disagree, that's what makes America. If people like myself or anybody else, if we don't say anything, if we don't spark synapses in the brains of folks, then we're going to continue to be the docile, ignorant pieces of shit that we are. All right? So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't done so already, follow me on X or Twitter. All right, there it is right there. The Ghost Report. All one word, no underscores. The Ghost Report. Follow me on there. And, of course, follow me on wherever you're listening, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Kick, or Rumble, or Vaughn. Cheers to each and every one of you. I will be here tomorrow, once again, for the Ghost Show, Baller Friday. And once again, it is way different than this show. It's a little bit more of a tomfoolery show on the Ghost Show. So if you like that, then you'll appreciate it, all right? Until then, man, I appreciate you all for listening. And by the way, if you are going to be a part of the Ghost Show, you may want to get your videos in now because we've already got them lined up. Let me give some props to the peeps that have already hooked it up with videos. Put the PC shot on. Murky Long hooked it up with a video. All right. It's a meow synth. He wants me to fucking go to break to that shit. Cheers to Murky Long. Zenith MIA hooked it up with a video for 7 beers tomorrow. Cheers to you. And Wraith 636 hooked it up with a video tomorrow. Cheers to you as well. And if you want a video played tomorrow, because these are the first 3 that are going to be played, that's how the videos are played tomorrow. Go ahead and hook it up with 5 beers on buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics or the equivalent on Rumble. And we'll get to them when we get to them, all right? So cheers to everybody. I can't wait for the Ghost Show tomorrow. I'm hype. I'm sober. It'll be my 8th day sober. And we're going to have a sober ghost tomorrow, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll be as mean as I am today. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, all I got to say is long live the capitalist army and death to feminism. death to socialism, and death, death, death to communism. And until then, I'm out of here.